A nice 2-1 victory today, keeping the unbeaten streak. What are your thoughts on today's match?
I think that at the end of the day we just wanted to get 3 points, which is what we've got. I think we played very well in the first half. We had a lot of control of the game, and I think we were unfortunate perhaps to go in just 1-0. And then the second half we did what I asked of the players, which is, we got an early goal at 2-0, with them very comfortable. And then I think at the end I'll probably take a bit of ownership for this. I think the way you made the changes and how I did it probably didn't help us, and it created a moment whereby they was able to get a goal late on in the game, and then obviously just because it's so late it causes a little bit of panic, but then I think the players stepped up really well to just take control of it again and see us out and get the 3 points, which is ultimately what we're here for.
And you mentioned the first goal of the match. Obviously you managed to find a lead quite late into the first half. How does that shape your game going forwards?
And the most important thing when you've got a team that are being defensive and sitting in a low block is you've got to break it once, because then ultimately for them to get anything out of the game they've got to come out of that block. Although at 1-0 they're likely to just try and stay in the game and look for a moment or a set piece or something like that, so it's always a worry. That was the experience that we had last time we played them at home, that we were 1-0, and whilst you're comfortable, just one corner or something like that can end up costing you the game. So Gypsy's done really well with their pressing, and then to be decisive once you got through and picked the ball up and sort of score the second goal becomes really important, because that 2-goal cushion then means that they have got to come out and do something.
Yeah, and they got the ball perhaps a bit more than we'd have liked today. Was that something you'd anticipated ahead of the match? Was this something you perhaps spoke to the girls a bit beforehand?
I wouldn't necessarily agree with you. I think in the first half we had most of the possession, we're in control of the ball a lot. I think in the second half they've obviously got to come and take the game on a little bit once they're 2-0 down. So I think it's just that really. So I made some changes which they scored the goal just on those changes, so it took a little bit of time for us to settle down. So there was a period of the game being a little bit transitional. But yeah, as I'd expect with this group, they see the seriousness of the situation, concentration, communication went up, and then we was able to see the game out well.
And obviously you've spoken a little bit about your frustrations about that late goal. What work-ons can you take from that into training and into the next match?
For me, the goal against is just there were a couple of tackles that we tried to make and were a little bit late to, and it forced them into making some good, like it was a good move from from them. So I don't think we don't particularly pick on that goal. I think just overall for us it's just refinement really. You're not always going to play like well or how you're going to want to, and I think particularly it's these type of teams that can happen with. But there needs to be a determination to go and get the result and get the 3 points. We're constantly going to be working on what we can do to play better. I think it's we're moving to a period of some difficult games, and we'll be working a little bit on our out of possession, making sure that we're really well organised when we don't have the ball. Going forwards over the next few weeks, that's what we'll be working on. But it's not particularly just from this game.
And like you mentioned, you're moving into a period with a few difficult games. Will this unbeaten start to the season have an impact on that, or will, as you say, take every game as it comes?
Literally, it is take every game as it comes. The fact that you've won the last game doesn't mean to say you're going to win the next. It's positive for confidence. It's positive for players to know what we can do. We've got, I think. Confidence comes from evidence of competence. The players can see what they're capable of. They can beat a tier 3 team in the cup, but ultimately it doesn't give you anything in the next game. You have to go and earn it on that particular day. So that's what we'll be focusing on. Like we'll have a look through the footage of today and see what lessons there are for us. And when we make mistakes or do things which don't cost us, I call them gifts, because we can learn from them. So we'll look for the gifts from today and then focus completely on Actonians for next weekend, which is it's exciting to have another cup competition. A good side, a London side that will be physically aggressive, and it'll give opportunities to other players as well, as we've used the cup competition. So looking forward to it. It's good for the squad, and hopefully we'll continue the winning run.